This is London Tonight with Ben Scotchbrook.
Good evening to you. First, we'll host the 2012 Olympics, and now London can look forward to hosting the 2017 World Athletics Championships. Just over an hour ago, the IAAF announced in Monaco that London will again set the stage for one of the biggest sports events in the world. A vote of confidence in the preparations the capital has already made for next year's Olympics. It also means the Olympic Stadium's athletics track has secured a future, the legacy its organisers had always promised. Simon Harris reports now from Monaco.
It's London.
Not quite a Singapore moment, but it felt pretty good all the same. After a nail-biting day of tension and worry, London is to host another global sports event. Sebco has another trophy.
What does it mean for London? We've got the world's third largest sporting event. We have the Games in 2012, we have the World Athletics Championships in 2017, and we have World Championships at virtually every level in every sport over the next decade. It's an extraordinary clean sweep for British sport.
But the day began with anxious moments for the London bid team. It may have been pre-match nerves, but the key players were looking tense. London's mayor arrived at the hotel in Monaco to play his part in the formal presentation to the governing body of World Athletics, the IAAF.
I'm told it's very tight, but we're crossing our fingers.
The 26 members of the IAAF Council voted in a secret ballot. The question no one knew the answer to: how many would back London, how many would back Doha?
I've personally been promised 7, and we are told that there is a block of votes, but I think this could be extremely close indeed, and the 7 votes I've been promised will not in itself get us over the line.
Doha was the first bid team to make its presentation to the IAAF behind the closed doors of a hotel conference suite. Doha promised a World Championships like never before and big money.
This will bring our total investment around $200 million. We are ready to make this investment because we believe in you and your sport.
Then it was London's turn. There was an offer of cash, $7 million in prize money, and a message from the Prime Minister. Again, we were kept outside to watch on a giant screen.
The government is behind the bid, our athletes and sports fans are behind the bid, our country is behind the bid.
London's mayor tried a joke about hosting an IAAF dinner at the Natural History Museum.
Right underneath the Diplodocus. This is one we ate earlier.
And former Olympic champion Denise Lewis had a dig at Doha's climate.
Athletes aren't robots. We can't just be dropped anywhere and be expected to compete and turn things on.
When the government and the mayor scrapped the deal to give London's Olympic Stadium to West Ham, they staked everything on the bid for the World Athletics Championships. Today, that gamble paid off.
It's a fantastic stadium. We spent a lot of money building it. It's now in public ownership, or it will be in public ownership, and we're going to keep it there and get in the revenues from the World Athletics Championships and other such things for a long time to come.
Simon, an exciting day in Monaco today, certainly, but how important is this for London after the Olympics?
Well, it's extremely important for London. It's extremely important for the government and the mayor after the fiasco over the stadium. It's almost exactly a year since England was humiliated by FIFA over the World Cup bid, and there were genuine fears that history might be about to repeat itself here in Monaco. Doha was the big money bid, more than $200 million on offer in inducements as prize money, as broadcast sponsorship, and to build new sporting facilities. London, by contrast, could only match $7 million for prize money. But in the end, the IAAF went with the safe bet. But fundamentally, this is important for the future of the Olympic Stadium. The government had staked everything on this bid after the scrapping of the West Ham deal. There was really nothing but humiliation and embarrassment for ministers and for the mayor if we hadn't won this. And it did look at times today as though this would either be very tight or might possibly go Doha's way. In the end, London won it by 16 votes to 10.
All right, Simon Harris in Monaco, thank you very much indeed. And let's get some reaction now from a man who won 3 World Championship gold medals himself. Roger Black is in Guildford for us tonight. Good evening to you, Mr. Black. I'm assuming you're a very happy man.
I think all of us involved in British athletics are delighted by this, and You know, we're on a roll, clearly. I mean, we were surprised to win the Olympics all those years ago. I think a lot of people are surprised that we won today. But I think the great thing about today is that common sense has prevailed, because we have an outstanding Olympic stadium, which will now be alive again 5 years after the Olympic Games. We have a nation that loves their sport. We see an unprecedented demand for Olympic tickets, so the World Championships will be absolutely full. We have the Commonwealth Games coming to this country in 2014, so these are very exciting times.
Organisers will claim that this is the legacy that they'd always promised.
Well, it's the legacy they've always dreamt of and they've always wanted. It means that the track will stay down, obviously, and it means that stadium will host another major championship apart from the Olympic Games. And the World Athletics Championships is a big deal. The best athletes in the world, by definition, will be there. And I just think it speaks volumes, not for us just as a nation, but for London as a city, that now we have the Olympic Games, we have the World Athletics Championships. It says an enormous amount well, it shows a lot of faith in not just Sebastian Coe, but also London as a city.
You say that the World Athletics Championships is a big deal. It obviously is for people like you. But when the Olympics come around, we all tune into what sports we'd never otherwise think about.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think that people will watch the World Athletics Championships in the same way?
Well, you cannot compare the World anything to the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games is a multitude of sports. I would never compare the Olympic Games and the World Athletics Championships, because we're talking about one sport of athletics. But what I do know is that it celebrates the greatest athletes in the world. And people tune into the World Athletics Championships. So, of course, it won't be the same as the Olympic Games, but it's not far off. It's a big deal, particularly, obviously, in my sport. But, you know, you can't top the Olympic Games, but if you're looking underneath the Olympic Games, the World Athletics Championships is absolutely where you look.
You're a man who enjoyed a lot of success in the sport. How much do you regret that you didn't get to enjoy any of that success on home ground?
Look, every athlete dreams of competing for their country at a World Athletics Championships or an Olympic Games, but to actually get the opportunity to do that in your country is in many ways a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, particularly with the Olympic Games. I would love to have done that, but I've had my day. But I can tell you one thing, that an 18, 19-year-old now who can look ahead for the next 5, 6, 7 years has this wonderful opportunity to compete on the major stage in the world of athletics, but in their country. That is absolutely fantastic. And yes, I'm jealous, but I'm quite happy that I have my day.
Jealous but not bitter. Roger Black, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it may be 6 years away, but the World Athletics Championships will give youngsters here another chance to compete at the very highest level here at home. Our sports reporter Sally Williams is with some of those youngsters who've been celebrating this evening's news. Sally, to you.
Hi there, Ben. Yes, this is the Athletics Centre in Lee Valley, where many of the athletes taking part in 2017 will be practising. As well as the professionals, they also train little ones here. And earlier we got a classic reaction from them when we told them London had won the bid. Here they are. Well, I can now tell you that London have won. Yeah! I love the little boy with his hands over his ears there, poor thing. We also can show you the pictures of the reaction from the professionals. They borrowed a little radio of us. It was a little bit more subdued, I have to say, but we can probably show you those pictures now. And I'm happy to say I'm joined by Conrad and Offroy. They're with us now, two London lads. Conrad, let's start with you first of all. I have to say that although I know you're excited, you must be slightly disappointed you're not going to get the warm waters of Doha and some of that prize money that was on offer.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fantastic, obviously, like London got the bid, but it'd be nice to be out in Doha. I've been there before and the water is really nice and warm, and I'd love to go there again, but, you know, I'm from London, 2012 next year, and 5 years later we're going to get the World Championship, so I'm really happy about that.
And there'll be some people sitting at home who go, oh, they've just about got over the hassle and the hype of the Olympics. They don't maybe feel too interested in this. How are you going to sell it to them?
I mean, it's going to be fantastic next year when we put the show on with the Olympic Games, and they'll obviously warm to the idea of the World Championships, and it's just going to be athletics, so it's going to be a lot less people and it won't be as crowded, and you will be allowed to drive around in London when the World Championships is on. So unlike the Olympics, it won't be as packed. So I'm making sure we do well and you come out and support us in 2017.
Okay. And Offray, what about you? You must be excited. London lad, another event here in London. Are you going to stay for it?
Definitely. I'm going to train hard and just hope that, you know, I stay fit and stay strong because, you know, end of the day, if you're fit, you might do it. You might do it. Definitely, definitely.
Well, good luck. Olympics first. And I have to say, they've got another 6 years, I think, if my maths is correct, to train. Ben.
Sally Williams and your guests, thank you. Still to come tonight.